All right, so we're recording. So whenever you're ready to get it started.
So okay, you want to read our predictions, our bingo card or whatever?
That's right, bingo card time.
Okay. So again, we're prefacing this with not having like actually looked at any details on what Capcom has programmed. I'm just going based off of what I think most likely they're going to report. So I have some type of Monster Hunter Rise news, and then that what was it? The Monster Hunter story
Yeah,
also. So that's two. Monster
okay,
Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter story,
got it.
right? Okay, so I have those two. Maybe a village update for Resident Evil Village, some kind of DLC maybe. Um, they have to talk about the Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil crossover. Have to. Um, Resident Evil 4 VR, most likely. They're gonna have to talk about that, I guess. I mean, I think Oculus did like an event last month where they probably talked about it, but still, I feel like they're gonna bring it up. Maybe some Remake 4 news. I don't know though. I'm not certain about that. I'm not gonna hold my breath for that. Um, the Ace Attorney, what was it? The Super Ace Attorney collection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like it's been a while, and since they did do like an Onimusha remake or a remaster, what was it like a year or two ago? So Onimusha's clearly in Capcom's mind, so maybe we'll get some type of Onimusha news. Uh, I think it's also time for like a fighting game. I think it's too early for Street Fighter 6, so I'm gonna go with Marvel versus Capcom 4. Or no, it's not 4 because Infinite was number 4, right? So 5, like Marvel versus Capcom 5.
Yeah.
So that's what I got, and then yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Yeah, you got some pretty good predictions there. The stuff that's likely, you also got some that aren't very likely in there. So I like the balance. Uh,
Yeah, well, all right. So what do you got? What do you have queued up?
all right, for sure, for sure. So Monster Hunter Rise is my jam. I'm gonna go ahead and take a page from your book, Monster Hunter Rise News. I guess specifically, um, we'll see a new monster. Like, hopefully, we'll see a new monster that hasn't been seen before. It's going to be original to Monster Hunter Rise. Um, RE Village DLC. I'm going to take another page from your book too. I think we're going to see some DLC. I'm going to have hope, and I'm going to have Dino Crisis, a Dino Crisis remake. All right, that's going to be my hope, my dreams for this Capcom thing. Shot in the dark. RE4 VR as well. I think we're going to see that. Doo-doo-doo. Ace Attorney Collection. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Where we're going to deviate though, Dragon's Dogma. I think we're gonna see a tease of Dragon's Dogma. A lot of people are hyped for that one. So like action, like fantasy kind of game. Um, really excited to see that if that happens. Dragon's Dogma 2. Um, I really hope to see Remake 4. Remake 4 would be dope. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a safe one. We're gonna see some news on Infinite Darkness. That'll give me easy points.
Okay. Full disclosure, I have no idea what Dragon's Dogma is. So I mean,
Yeah,
whatever that is, I guess we'll see. Like if they do announce it, I guess I'll find out what that is. But I have no idea what that is.
right.
Um. You know what? I'm not gonna hold my breath for Dino Crisis. Like I have been dreaming for, especially since they started like remaking, like with Remake 2 and Remake 3. Like I've been kind of like wanting like a Dino Crisis remake, but I'm not gonna hold my breath because after Remake 3, the disaster that it was, I don't know if I trust Capcom with any more remakes because they hit it out of the park with Devil May Cry 5. They hit it like bringing back like that storyline after DMC, which also was a trash fire. They did a pretty good job with Devil May Cry 5. They did an amazing job with Remake 2, and then Remake 3 happened, and they completely like butchered it. So, and I know that Capcom wasn't directly responsible. Well, they are because they just handed it off to another studio, but but I don't know. I'm not gonna hold my breath for Dino Crisis. As much as I want Dino Crisis, I'm not gonna hold my breath for it. Well, it's 2:30, but there's nothing happening. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, once it starts popping off, I'm gonna check the audio, and then we'll go full screen, and then we'll see what they got for us.
Okay.
Yep, yep. I think. What would you like, Dino Crisis? Mm,
What?
I mean, not Dino Crisis. Dragon's Dogma. I'm trying to think. How
What
do you
would I
like?
like about it? Well, I don't even know what it's about, so I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I could give you a.
Hmm.
Is it like a JRPG or something, or what is it?
It's a. It's an action like hack and slash set in like a fantasy universe, like a Lord of the Rings kind of deal, but not just like hobbits and stuff running around. It's like forests and um, how you would think a fantasy environment would look like, and you have like AI companions. Oh, there it goes.
Go, here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news,
I see Ace
and
Attorney
updates
already.
from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for?
Capcom Fighters?
Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
Lady Dimitrescu.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil RE-verse, where players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident
They had to
Evil
give a shout out to
heroes and
RE-verse, man.
bioweapons. I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil RE-verse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Just started, really? Okay.
Really? They don't have
Thank
nothing
you,
queued up,
Kanda-san,
really?
for that wonderful
Wow.
update. Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's
That's it for
adventuring
RE
alongside
Village.
monsters
That
or
was less than I
battling them
thought.
with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings
Does that
of
count
Ruin.
as seeing DLC? I'm a little iffy on it. Oh, we're gonna see a lot of that tomorrow. That Nintendo Switch click.
This was his fate. Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again. then, of course, that's when I met you.
I like the aesthetic
You
of
were
this
given
game.
Red's kinship
Speaks
stone,
to me.
and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
It looks like she has Puke armor.
Monster. Ray's Wing Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere.
Oh, the little cat homie right there, he was in the first one. I played a demo of the first one.
This looks like my type of Monster Hunter right here.
Yeah?
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And
It's more story
bonds
focused and it's
between
turn-based.
Monsters
So.
and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his
The
life
natural
force
bond
weakening.
between human
The burden of
and
such
monster.
great power is too much for his body to bear.
A voice.
It's a long trailer.
Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength of everyone they meet. That
It's an
makes them
anime.
strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
Interesting that they led with Rings of this one instead of Rise. I like it though.
The dog looks like Repeat, that Palaboot or whatever. Looks like Repeat from Tales of Vesperia.
Cool. Ooh, there's a trial version, so people can just try it out. Nice. That outfit's from Rise.
Next month already.
Yeah.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise.
Oh, let me see this collaboration. I forgot about this. Forgot about the collaboration. That has me excited.
Let's go! This is for my fellow hunters!
Rathalos is no runt.
Moon's blessing emerge. Get ready.
I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's
Is she gonna be armored for yeah, okay. event quest. More quests is always good.
Kamura is like my second home.
You think you can take on Rondine?
Oh, you can be your voice. Okay, okay. Probably not going to use a lot of that stuff, but
There has
okay.
never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Yo, this is your territory, my
North
guy.
American and
I'm
European
along for the ride.
future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll travel back in time to the late 19th century Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel. Now, let's hear more about the story.
So then, let us unravel this mystery.
Welcome to the center of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Who are you?
Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Is this art style different from what's usual?
Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
You're the best lawyer in the world.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at two gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
Hello, I'm
They have a
Jonathan,
spoiler warning,
Capcom's
that's nice.
marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Suzato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock. Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Why would homie let in people in his room and have a big old thing of shears in his hand?
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery. As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter
I think it's cool that they're actually explaining the mechanics to
semi-literal
people who aren't familiar with Ace
the
Attorney.
conclusion of the dance of deduction.
All right.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors, all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to
Go
call
let
out the
this man
flaws
in here
in
with a
their logic.
knife.
Objection!
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims. When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds, too. With a slam of their fist, each juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above and literally tip the scales of justice in your favor. Bring each contradiction to light and persuade the jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
This has just been a small taste of the exciting new gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are very excited to get this game.
I don't know if I'd go as far as exciting.
And diehard fans.
Huh?
Dang. I think I might cop that one.
Yeah, that's you?
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to
What's
you guys.
Capcom about to do to us?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it, and I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3, it just feels right, and you feel the electricity in the air. Nice! Nice! What? That was nasty! And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's
You
right,
don't
Rob. If you
say.
think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter V.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera like...
Don't ever expect another man's controller.
So in this year's CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory, the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set. And that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That product
That's right,
placement,
we take
man.
all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player, as well as catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally we only have 1v1 content. But now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen?
Nice.
He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening? It's so good.
Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now.
Street Fighter V
Top
Champion
players
Edition,
representing
yeah.
11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay tuned for future Capcom Pro Tour updates on the Capcom Fighters channel.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with the Midwest region for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not want to miss some of the best Street Fighter V players in the world compete head-to-head.
So it's you. I dare you to find better Street Fighter. I dare you.
This is a game about being a world warrior. Capcom Cup tournament play.
Obviously, they got a rivalry.
I'm the best in the world.
This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
Ooh! Nice. Oh, pop-off! That's what I'm talking about.
I told you it's gonna go to the limit, and I ain't lying to the peak.
This is the ultimate Street Fighter V experience. This is Capcom Pro Tour.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom Unity this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience and RE-verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom
It wasn't much of an experience, but
Dang, that was kind of garbage.
it really is up to Nintendo to save E3.
Yeah, it's totally up to Nintendo. They didn't even have a one more thing or nothing, dude. Wow. Yeah, this is a D.
I mean, the absolute highlight of Capcom had to be the Great Ace Attorney like gameplay footage. That kind of sold me on it. But
sure.
At least for my bingo, I got Monster Hunter, I got Monster Hunter Rise, I got Monster Hunter Story, I got Resident Evil Village, and
I don't know about Village.
Well, like that counted. They didn't really well, Resident Evil Village says like they announced that they're getting DLC, so it counts.
Sure. Okay, we'll count it.
So I got Village, I got Monster Hunter Rise, I got Monster Hunter Story, the Great Ace Attorney, but I missed Dead by Daylight crossover, Resident Evil 4 VR, Remake 4, Onimusha, and Marvel vs. Capcom. But I was right that they were like, you know, that it was about time for them to make like a fighting game announcement, even though it was like Pro Tour stuff. But I mean,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. So half credit.
All right, for sure. I specifically said that we would see a new Monster Hunter Rise. We did not, so I don't get credit for that. Village, I guess I'll give myself credit for DLC. I'm not actually no, dude. I said we'll see DLC, not an announcement for DLC. So no credit there. No Dino Crisis.
Nah, that counts. You said DLC specifically. It doesn't matter whether you were going to see it or not. But you called that there was going to be DLC, so that counts.
All right, we'll count it. No Dino Crisis. No RE4 VR. No Remake 4. New Ace Attorney, I think I said collections. So that's not a collection, right? That's like a whole new game that's coming to America.
Well, it's because it's two. Yeah, so I guess it does count as a collection because it is two separate games. Because they were Japan exclusive games. The Great Ace Attorney one, like those two separate Great Ace Attorney games, and they're selling it as one. So yes, it does count as a collection.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking like an existing collection. I thought they were just going to promote something that was existing, not something new, like a new collection. So, Spirit of the Bet, I shouldn't get points there because I wasn't educated. And no Dragon's Dogma and no Infinite Darkness, dude. We didn't see any of the TV show. So, how many does that make me?
Yeah, they literally just sped through like Resident Evil. Like it was just like, okay, well, just like a minute, really.
Yeah.
I feel like if they're gonna give some Infinite Darkness news, I feel like that's gonna be more like on Netflix's side.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like they'll probably be the ones to promote it, not necessarily Capcom.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess the only pure point I have is for Village DLC. I was gonna ask something. Capcom. I just lost it. Oh well. That was if you were going to give a letter grade on it, you don't have to if you don't want to, but what was this? A through F.
Well, they did better than what was it yesterday? What did we watch yesterday?
Square Enix.
Oh, Square.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely did better than Square. You know what? Like, I don't want to be rude because I know that there's some people that actually like care about like that Capcom Pro Tour stuff, and they give a lot of information about that. Mm-hmm. So not being biased, I'll probably give them like a solid like a solid B, let's say, Cause yeah, I feel like it was a little bit lacking also. Cause literally, what did they? There was nothing new. Like they didn't present nothing new. It's all stuff that we already knew about before. We knew about the Greatest Attorney Chronicles. We knew about well, I guess that wasn't confirmed, but everybody just assumed that there was going to be DLC for Village anyways. Like it was kind of like we just already knew it was going to happen. So there was nothing new that was announced. Even Monster Hunter. But yeah, well, I guess if you count like the collaboration, like what exactly the collaborations were, I guess that is new. I don't know. I'll give them a B. I'll give them a solid B because again, like I'm not really invested in Monster Hunter either, so didn't really apply to me. Monster Hunter stories look pretty hype though. That seemed like it's more up my speed.
Yeah.
The whole turn-based like RPG style.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll give them a solid B. The only reason why they don't get a flat out A is just because like it was, yeah, there wasn't like at least one new title like announced. Like it was all stuff that has already been previously said before.
All right.
I'll give them a B. I'll be fair and I'll give them a B.
All right. I'm gonna go much lower than you did. I'm gonna go D. This is E3.
Damn, like that?
Yeah, this is E3, and this is not an E3 presentation in the slightest. They didn't have anything new to share about Resident Evil. Everything we knew, so that could have just not been there. Monster Hunter Rise had a better what is it? Wings of Ruin. That was a really good trailer. I'll give them props for that. Ace Attorney stuff, good introduction for people. Yeah, but other than that, the esports stuff bogged it down. It wasn't it, Chief. It's D.
Damn, I'm over here trying not to be rude, and like you're over here like, no, they just failed. They just flat out failed.
It just wasn't E3 caliber, dude. They could have stayed home. So it is what it
But
is.
honestly, like that's been E3 like the entire like since it started like a few days ago. Like it's
Yeah, true.
all the presentations have been like that. So like if we're comparing it to like everything else, like it's pretty on par with the information that we've been getting from the other showcases too.
Yeah, in a
But
way.
I don't know. I'm not gonna blame them too much just because of like freaking the pandemic. I guess I'll give them a free pass because they're still like in the past year they were still working. A lot of like people were working from home and stuff like that. Like even the game developers, like they had to take all that stuff home and
yeah, true. True.
So they weren't as open to like the resources that they normally would have. Maybe that's why development is slow on games, and that's why they're not able to like announce stuff. I guess. That's why I felt like giving them a pass because yeah, like you can't compare this E3 to like 2018's because we didn't even have an E3 last year, right?
No E3, right?
Yeah, so you can't compare this E3 to 2018's when it was like in full swing, like development was like in full force from all the companies,
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I will admit that it has been very lackluster, and I am not happy with the content that we're getting. But it is what it is.
It is what
but
it
yeah,
is.
it is truly up to Nintendo to save us, like to save E3.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, judging by how everybody else is doing, I'm not gonna hold my breath, cause I don't know. It might be more of the same tomorrow for Nintendo.
Yeah, we also have Bandai Namco too. Maybe, hopefully.
There's nothing that Bandai Namco has that I'm really like invested in, with the exception of Tales.
Tales.
So I mean we already got like Tales of Arise news like throughout the week, like last week, like they did like a gameplay trailer, introducing like new characters. I highly doubt that they're gonna like do another one so quick, or I don't know, maybe they will. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Other than Tales of Arise, I don't really see like another. Or at least not that I can remember. I don't think there is another Bandai Namco franchise that I'm interested in. So.
Yeah, Bandai Namco is like the hub of anime, though. Anime games potential. So, if they have something cooking there, like a fighter or a 3D adventure, that'd be cool. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. All right,
I'm
let
gonna
me go.
change my grade now since you went all like hypercritical. I'm gonna go with a C. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with
Yeah.
I'll, C. I'll still give them props because like again, there probably was some people out there that were excited for that pro tour stuff. I wasn't one of them,
Me
but
neither.
they did give like a look on the Great Ace Attorney, which was a previously Japan exclusive
Mhm.
game. So the fact that they were able to like show like the American and European audiences like, hey, so this is what you guys didn't get, and you probably already seen like Japanese gameplay of this if you're a fan of the series. But hey, look, like here's how we're gonna do it in English now, or localized. So I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it's very lackluster. Like there was nothing new, nothing was earned.
Yeah. That's the reason why I think your score is more objective than mine. I've been pretty critical. I've been getting everything else C's, and if I were to keep in line with what I've been doing, D would be what I would give this one. So I can't change mine, or I won't change it. All right. Well, it was only like 20 something minutes, so straight to the point at least.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
It's E3, so I'm expecting a bit more content than this. But
Right.
it is what it. We're just getting like these little 30-minute showcases, which are kind of they're lacking some meat.
Right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do a sign off then. We have been Road Jump Media. We cover video games. We're doing reactions for E3. This is gonna go up on YouTube. So if you want to see our content going forward, please check us out there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on our next content that we put up. Thank you for watching. Peace.